Raining, it's pouring, get your coat down, come on, quickly, coats on.
It starts at 4 years of age. I mean, that's one of the things that our parents find incredible. They come in at 4, some of them have never even been to a nursery, and within a matter of weeks, they're actually using ICT in the classroom. They're using ICT these days when they use the phone, and they don't see it as ICT. They're using it when they go on the internet, be it with the phone or through a PC. Our role now is linked to the independent learner, is linked to the children developing confidence in their abilities and actually wanting to learn, wanting to try new things.
How do the children respond to this project? Is there a buzz about it?
The whole idea of filming is natural to them over the past few years. This has now taken it one step further, so it's a DVD project.
Prize on set, 1, 2.
They love the idea of getting dressed up, they love the idea of filming each other, they love the idea of saying silly things to the camera. Cut it so that they're all separate shots. Then there's an editing process there where they're taking out the things they don't need, leaving in the stuff they do want, if it's funny, if it's relevant, and you know, if it actually links into what they need to know in terms of their learning. I wanted to make a film that I could use with our staff and other staff that they might learn, and how easy it is really to get resources that you probably have in school anyway and make them into something else. What I particularly wanted to know was, and I hadn't asked this before, what do the children think of it? They started coming up with all these ideas and answers, and oh, we can use it at home, we can use it in school, we've made it, and you know, all of this sort of stuff came out, and I didn't want to spoon feed it to them. They were answers they gave. I mean, it took a little bit of getting going, but once they started, I couldn't shut them up. We wanted to look at different ways of carrying out revision and assessment that would move away from the more traditional methods.
There are 25 flowers in a vase, 13 flowers are tulips, and 12 are daffodils. What fraction of the flowers are tulips? Anyone?
Over the years, we've made a lot of films in literacy, in numeracy, in science, history, PSHE, Spanish, but they weren't really doing much apart from taking up space on the hard drive. So we thought, hey, why don't we put them to some use and make some interactive DVDs? So the children started to plan a way of cutting up our existing long films into smaller films that could be put onto a DVD. This would be structured in such a way as to let the user know if they got the answer right or wrong if clicked. If the answer was right, the right answer would appear. If not, a child would appear to tell you the bad news.
That's wrong.
We focused on a science answer that some of the children had given to the question of a life process an adult can do that a young child cannot. Some of the answers suggested revision in this area might be appropriate.
Adults can lift heavy things, but children can't lift heavy things.
One life process that an adult can do and a baby can't is an adult can get a job.
So we made a DVD. And we allowed the children to use the DVD, first of all, at home.
You don't want to find out about nutrients? Okay.
And here one of the children is shown his brother how to get the right and the wrong answer. And when they use the remote control on the DVD player to click what they think is the right answer, in this case, getting the answer wrong, and the child comes back and says that they've got the answer wrong.
No, that's wrong. Try again. Let's try energy now. Okay.
If the first answer is wrong, the second one has to be right.
Cool.
We also let the children use the DVD as a class resource in school.
Yes.
Yes, well done. Good. Let's see, Christopher. Christopher, you think reproduction isn't a live process. Let's see your board. No? Okay, John, Chris thinks no. Let's take now.
Oh, that's wrong.
Oh, sorry, Christopher. Well done, the children. That tick, yes, that reproduction is a live process.
This means the rainbow.
Finally, we asked the children if they actually liked using the DVDs, either at home or in school.
I think it's useful because if you're bored on the weekend or after school, you can just go on your computer and learn without getting even more bored.
I think it's much better to take the work home because it's much better than just writing page after page in your book.
I think it's really good as well because if you've got any or younger brothers or sisters, you can just show them and then they'll take it in as well. It's like taking school everywhere.
I think it's really good and it's fun because instead of just sitting in class and listening to the boring teacher, it's colourful and you can just do quizzes and it's fun.
I think it's useful because it's like homework, but it's not, because with your homework, when you get started, you have to finish it. But with the DVD, you can leave it at one question and then leave it for a bit and come back to it.
I think it's useful because you're doing work at home and it's well better.
It's dead good because when you're in a science class, you've only got about half an hour to do it. But when you've got the DVD and you're at home, you've got the whole world. You've got all the time in the world to do it.
I like it because we don't have to do pages and pages of work because there's loads of colour on the DVD instead of just doing pages.
I think it's very useful because you can take it in and out to school.
I think it's interesting and fun because on the computer it's well more fun and it's dead easy, but when you're writing work your hand can start aching and it's just dead boring. It's really good because although I think science is boring, it just makes it a bit more fun.
I haven't got nothing else to say.
So was it an ICT project or was it some research into another element of learning?
I think it's probably more a research into learning. It's more to do with literacy and questioning and answering skills. Obviously then you're looking at a curriculum subject like science in this case. So I mean really the ICT's tacked on at the end. It's more of a tool to get the DVD made and then see if they were of any use at home and if it had an impact on the learning back in school again.
Emma, what would you say to someone who maybe thought this might be a bit of a gimmick?
I think really why I was so impressed when Mike did come to me in Year 6 was that it reinforces the learning that we've been doing in class. So just that extra supplement really.
It's about constantly trying to improve learning opportunities for children. It's not about gimmicks. It's like we've won various Better Awards over the years for DVDs, but they were not entered for the sake of winning an award. It's like this project, it wasn't entered just for the sake of the project. It was more to do with how do children learn? How can we engage them?
I did talk to a few of the children and they were saying that they remembered things more and that what really interested them was the fact that they had actually been responsible for making it
themselves.
Yes.
You know, you can see how engaged the children are. I keep saying that, but the children are all engaged. They're all enthusiastic. It's something that they've produced, and I think it would be good to go into other subject areas as well. So I'm just waiting for Mike for the literacy and numeracy now, really.
Okay, children, what you think about what kind of rat poison we might use? We've looked at rat cages, we've looked at rat traps. Anybody want to make a rat killer up?
Rat rage.
Rat rage, that's a good one. Rat rage. Okay, excellent. Yeah, 1,
Cheese of hell.
Cheese of hell?
Play it on the set. 1, 2.
What type of rat poisons do you use? We use Black Death, Ratatouille, rat venom, rat poison, and cheese from hell. It's highly dangerous to humans.
Well done, that's excellent. Give him a clap. Lovely, well done. Okay.
It was impressive seeing the children in your class, Emma, working where they were helping each other.
That's right.
How have you built up that level of confidence?
Well, I think it's just come through from reception, really, as the children go through the school. It's not something that's taught, you know, they respect each other. It's within our Christian ethos. But they listen to each other, which is a really important skill. And they do help each other. And it's great to see the learning, the dissemination of the learning within the ICT lessons.
But what seems to be particularly good about the work that you've been doing is the aspect of personalising learning for children.
It's so new, the personalised learning aspect. It's very hard to get a handle on. If anything, this project is to do with audio-visual. So maybe giving it an audio-visual slant, and it might help reach those few learners who are struggling with ideas. So it's again working with the staff, backing up what they're doing in the morning, but just pinpointing exactly what, you know, those areas of weakness might be.
It's not just about the poor or the less able or the more challenging child. As a teacher, every child in your class, in this school, every child in the school, the ideal should be what can open up for them in life and what can we do to support them.
And as an AST, you work with teachers in other schools, don't you? So what are the implications there?
Well, I'd again like this to be something I could take away and share with other teachers, because I do find it difficult when I'm going in and explaining about digital video and what the things, you know, the avenues that are open. The only difference is the DVD resource, but with computers now, more and more computers are coming with DVD making facilities. It's becoming something that lots of teachers, I think, will have in their schools without even knowing it. Before, the staff that I was talking to was just thinking, that's 10 years in the future, that's 15 years in the future. And it's not, it's here and now, especially with the primary framework, the emphasis on speaking and listening through ICT. Well, this is to me what that is talking about in the primary framework.
When you were making the film, one of the issues we noticed was that there was a focus issue.
To be honest with you, I didn't even notice it until afterwards when it was in the editing process.
If we're filming here, it's comfortable to hold the camera here, which means we're actually quite a long way away from the LCD. So as we look at that, it's actually easy to think it's in focus, but it's not. So that's when using the viewfinder is actually more useful, because when you close the LCD display and look at the viewfinder, you're actually much closer to the image with your eye, and that just helps you concentrate on that one aspect that's, as you discover, quite important.
Yeah, I wouldn't have used it only for the fact that the answers they gave were good.
Yeah.
And ordinarily my rule of thumb is, you know, blame the child. So I couldn't in this instance. I did put my hands up and admit that I got it wrong. So.
That's great.